welcome y'all to another episode of Market Markup. This is Lance, co-founder of BH Capital Enterprises, where I teach people how to navigate the markets using technical analysis, specifically charting. So being able to see that price action in picture form, that's pretty much what charts is all about. But what I've been doing for the month of July is challenging myself to do a breakdown on one chart every day. So today is day 8, and I'm choosing to do AMC for today. And I haven't really done a top-down analysis on AMC before, so this will be, a first for me. I've never really traded AMC, especially on the option side. I currently don't hold any sort of position in AMC at all, whether it be stocks, options, anything. And this is strictly for entertainment purposes only. Like, I thoroughly enjoy evaluating charts. So if there are any tickers that you guys would like for me to check out, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will put them in the queue. But without any further ado, let's just get right on into AMC. So what we're looking at right now is the yearly chart. And you can see, for 2021, AMC is, the year of memes, the year of Reddit. Uh, there was really no other fundamental reason for AMC taking off like it did. Like there's no fundamental that I know of, no fundamental catalyst or material information that would support such a move. It was just strictly hype. Um, but as you can see, coming into this year, AMC had been on a downtrend for 4 years. And it pivoted very hard down here at the low. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mark that low. And the thing about AMC is that it's just so volatile that it getting back down here to this level, it's not completely out of the question. So let's see. We're going to just call this one historical low. Make sure we show on the right. Okay, so historical low. Another level that I'm going to mark up is right here, about 24, this $24 area. I don't know what I should call that one. I'm not going to call it anything. I'm just going to keep that in mind. And of course, this $32 area is of interest to me. Okay. And so AMC has been for a little while, and I've been trying to keep an eye on it lately. But AMC's been hanging out in this high 40, pretty much between 45 and 55 for quite some time now. Um, I don't know if it's been, a few months or a few weeks, but hasn't been doing very much lately. But a lot of people seem to be convinced that AMC is going, just astronomical levels in terms of its share price. I can't predict the future, so I neither agree nor disagree. I'm just completely neutral and saying, hey, we'll see what happens. But for their sake, I hope it does. You know what I'm saying? Um, but so far here, we had a bearish trend line break here during 2021. So even if you were watching this stock just off GP before, the whole meme stock stuff took off, you could have, possibly caught this move, you know what I'm saying? So just off the strength of the price breaking above this area, which was right around $5 or so, or you could have waited here till about 7.5 or so. I mean, you could have caught a very nice move, but for me, AMC isn't a company that was ever on my radar really. Um, for one, because I only watch a handful of stocks on a regular basis. And for two, um, I mean, I just pretty much, stay in my lane when it comes to it. So yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of it, as far as this yearly chart is concerned. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move on to the monthly chart and see if we can glean any other information from here. Okay, and so on this monthly chart, you can definitely see that bearish trend line break here during January. Yeah, during the month of January. Came back down in February and retested that area and then bounced very hard from there. So, um, it's usually a good area to get in when you get a retest of support. Uh, well, at first it's resistance. So the price crosses above resistance and then it comes back down and confirms that old resistance as new support, and then it bounces from there. A lot of times that is one of the prime entries um, in taking a bullish position. So you can see here historically on the monthly chart that the price tends to consolidate in this mainly in this mid 20s to mid 30s area. So I'm not trying to imply that the price is coming back down there. It could, but we'll see. But so far, like I mentioned, it's been trading between this 45 to $55 area, and you can see where it kind of pivoted right there at 56, 57. So I'm going to mark this level. Actually, I'm going to take that off and do a price level here. Price level. And we're just going to call this monthly pivot or pivot on monthly. Pivot on monthly, show on the right. And we're going to change this color. We'll just make it this light teal color. Okay, so pivot on monthly. Um, Looks like we may have a little bit of demand here in this mid 30s area. So we'll see if the weekly chart offers any additional information. But for now, it looks like, there's a possibility that AMC will hang out between 30 to high 50s or mid 50s, at least for now. So it could be entering into the consolidation phase of the market cycle. A little too early to tell, but after a pretty strong markup here, it makes sense that the price kind of consolidates a little and chills out a little bit. But we can obviously see that historically, that price struggles above that 57, $56 area. All-time high 72.62, and the price is little ways off of that, right now. Um, let's see here. So right now that's pretty much your sentiment right here on this monthly chart. So I would be looking to see um if the price breaks this trend line here, and I'm just gonna put a little text note here. Okay, so we're gonna watch this area for possible bullish trend line breakdown. And I want this to pop a little more. I'm just gonna make that white and make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, that's what we'll do. All right, so we're watching that area. Um, and that's pretty much it, for now. But I would think that no later than the end of August, we'll see if it continues on with this sentiment or if we get that trend line break. And probably this month, really. But definitely by the end of August, we should know something as far as this trend line is concerned. Whether this thing is gonna, maybe continue to consolidate, whether it breaks down, or whether it, kind of continues upward and breaks that pivot on the monthly. Um, Actually, I think I want to call this a bearish pivot. All right, so bearish pivot on monthly. Let me get my screenshot going here, and we'll move on to the weekly chart and see what this weekly chart is talking about. All right, so with this weekly chart, you can see where I drew the trend line. I'm just gonna move it over just a tad. Okay. And so you can see, kind of the same thing, by possibly sometime this month on into August, we should see uh, some resolution here of the question of whether this is going to break down, consolidate, or whether it's going to continue on this bullish angle here. So on the weekly chart, it's been mostly range bound. This $47 area has been holding. So I'm going to mark this area as support on weekly. We'll do a price level here. So we'll call that support on weekly. Let's do this one, I guess, purple. And we're going to show it on the right. And boom. There we go. So support on weekly right there. As long as the price is trading kind of in this range, it's just consolidating. Um, but still uh, look to see if the price breaks down here. If it does, then it can possibly head down to that $32 range or somewhere in the 30s, and maybe even on inside to the 20s or between these two levels. Um, I'm not gonna say what is impossible or what's possible, because meme this the age of meme stocks has shown us that almost anything is possible when it comes to the market. So price action is just watch the price action. Watch the levels, and then build a plan based on that. I don't currently have any plans to trade AMC right now because it's just too much uncertainty for me. Really, I missed my opportunity on grabbing AMC when it was, near $10, and I passed on it. So at this point, it would have to really get down probably closer to 20 for me to consider a trade. Uh, but if I happen to open the chart one day and see some opportunity, I may consider a day trade. You know what I'm saying? So, but for now, I don't have any plans to trade it. But same thing that we're seeing on the monthly chart where I was talking about it entering consolidation phase of the market cycle. You can see it a bit better here on this weekly chart. We have a small, um, we have a series of lower highs and lower lows here. So obvious bearish trend here over the past 3 weeks. So that's an area that I would watch as well. And I'm just gonna, maybe I'll just make this orange. Okay. And we'll call that, recent sentiment. No, that's not what I wanted. TextNet. Recent weekly sentiment. And we're just gonna make this white. Bold it out. There we go. So recent weekly sentiment. So basically be watching this lower trend line and this trend line here over the next, 1 to 2 weeks. So uh, we'll see whether the price is able to break above this area or whether it is able to hold here or whether it, just kind of continues to break down. But what we're seeing so far is that there's some downward pressure on the stock right now. Um, Looks like we may have a little bearish channel going on, but we'll see if we see anything more on the daily chart in just a second. Actually, let's move this over here a little bit more. There we go. All right. Okay. So now let's check out the daily chart and see what's going on here. And you can see, I mean, it's just a lot of up and down, a lot of choppy action over the past several days on this time frame. Looks like it transitioned into markdown phase or phase four of the market cycle. Um, and so far, this trend line is holding on the daily chart. That is, however, even with this strong move on today, okay, so it had a nice little move today. It still failed to close above that support on weekly level. So it closed right at it. It was unable to successfully engulf yesterday's candle. So tomorrow, you either watch to see if there's some continuation or confirmation of a bullish reversal. At which point you're looking for the price to cross above 48 and move on toward this trend line here in the low 50s. Um, there may be some opportunity there, short term. And then once it gets here, look to see if it's gonna maybe reject this area and head back down to this trend line, or whether it breaks this go round. So, but it can also, of course, consolidate. Um, so, a few scenarios to consider on this time frame. Let's see where the 50 and the 200 are currently. So the 50 is not too far off. It's right at about 35, but not, you know, not something that I'd really be concerned about right now. Um, so I'm gonna, well, maybe I'll take a screenshot just so I'll have that visual reminder. Then I'll take this off. Okay. So, yeah, man, I mean, I'm that 56, 57 area is just tough for AMC. So pretty much I gave you guys some levels to look for, some levels to watch short term. But right now AMC is just, kind of stewing for the most part. Um, like I said again, be watching this trend line and watch this trend line as well as this $48 level, as it is significant on the weekly chart. So especially with the week coming to a close tomorrow, it'd be nice for the Bulls to be able to see AMC close above 48 tomorrow. Um, is there anything else that I can really say or think of at the moment? Um, yeah, no. So, just a quick recap. If we get a confirmation of a bullish reversal here tomorrow, then I'd look for AMC to head back toward the low 50s at least. And then at that point, you're watching this trend line for a break toward that high 50s area where it has struggled for most of would I say most of this year? Well, no, most of the summer, I would say. Most of the summer. Um, and then to the bearish side, be looking to see if this trend line continues to hold. But of course, the price could also, just kind of consolidate right on, between these trend lines. But either way, um, we'll know something probably within the next couple of weeks. Um, August at the latest, I would say. August at the latest. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have when it comes to AMC. Definitely not gonna try to, make any type of price prediction or anything like that, because this thing is just nutty. I mean, who knew that AMC coming into this year trading below $2 would end up shooting as high as 72? Like, who knew that? So it's just one of those things, you know what I'm saying? So again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Let me know if there are any tickers that you guys would like for me to check out, and I'm happy to do it. Thanks again.